Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So one of the things that I wanted to do this year is do more tag videos, more things kind of like so that you guys can get to know me better and things that we can just chat about in the comments. So I figured I would start out with the small creator tag because it's the perfect one for you to get to know a bit more about me and my channel and why I started my channel and all that fun stuff. This tag was created by Smoky Glow. I'll leave her channel down below. She's hilarious if you haven't watched her yet. She's a lot of fun. I've watched a couple other people's videos because I watch a lot of small creators. So these are always fun to hear people's answers for because it's always interesting to know why somebody started their channel, what their favorite video is, things like that. So I figured instead of answering the questions, I would do my makeup while I answer the questions. I was actually in the process of doing my makeup and then I was gonna film the video and I was like, why not just kind of do a get ready with me while I'm answering the questions? So you guys have something fun to watch. Also, I got my first Juvia's Place palette. If you watched my 9 brands that I want to try in 2019, Juvia's was top of the list and I knew I was gonna probably purchase the Tribe palette. It's so pretty and green and orange and beautiful. So I think I'm gonna just do like a simple eye look with this. I do already have my foundation done and my brows are obviously done. I'll put everything that I used in the description box. So what I'm going to be putting on my face while you guys are watching, I'll kind of just like hold it up and show you, but I'm not gonna talk about it. I'll just put it in the description box below, what products I used. Same thing, I'll put my like foundation stuff down there too. So let's go ahead and get started so this doesn't end up too long and I'll jump right into contouring and bronzers. Okay, let's start off with some contour. So the first question is, how long have you been on YouTube? And I think the answer is about 1.5 years. I believe it was summertime 2017 when I started my channel. It was like May, June, or July. So I mean, we're getting at about 1.5 years. Next up is, what was your first video about? So the first video I did was on the Storybook Cosmetics Wizardry and Witchcraft palette. I ended up actually doing like a 4-part series because I did a look inspired by the 4 houses. And then, you know, to start the series off, my very first video was kind of like a little brief review of the palette. And then I did a Hufflepuff look because I'm a Hufflepuff. Which I guess I should also say, like, if you haven't watched my first video, my name is Lindsay. I think that's the only video I've ever said like, hi, my name is Lindsay. So I don't know, like if you haven't watched my first video, which if you haven't, I don't recommend it. But that's like the only time I ever, I think, have said my name on my channel. So hi, my name's Lindsay. Maybe I'll start like incorporating that into my intro or something because I mean, you know, nerdy girl makeup's fun and all, but it'd be nice for you guys to know my name. Nose contour, must concentrate. All right, so I'm gonna use this bronzer from Besame. So number 3 is, who is your dream collaboration? So for me, I would say like a big YouTuber that I would love to collaborate with. So I mean, it would be like a dream because it'd be very difficult for me to end up collabing with her, I'm sure, would be Jordy from It's Likely Makeup. I love her. She's probably, she was one of the first channels that I really got into. I mean, I got into all of the big ones like, you know, Kathleen Lights, Jaclyn Hill. I definitely watched a lot of them, you know, when I first started watching makeup videos, but something about Jordy, like, I just loved her personality. Blush. I liked that she didn't always do like just these like safe looks, especially, you know, kind of what a lot of the bigger YouTubers tend to go towards. So yeah, I love Jordy. I've been watching her since before she got into the hundreds of thousands. I think when I started watching her, she only had like 30,000 subscribers and she's really just blown up and I absolutely love that. You know, hopefully she won't like change too much because it seems like that can be kind of difficult when people get really big, but I love her, love watching her, very entertaining. She's just very fun. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing with the eyes a bit better. All right, so I think I'm gonna try to just insert a picture of the color I'm using like right here while I use it so I can answer the questions at the same time. This might not have been the best idea. So question number 4 is, what would it mean to make it on YouTube? You know, I hate to say like making money because that just sounds, I don't know, I hate the way that sounds, but in reality, that is probably a big part of it. I've only just started making money with ads, so it's not very much that I'm getting, but you know, I'm buying all the stuff to review and test out, which is also why I'm trying to be more picky about what I buy lately. But yeah, it would be nice to like start making more money with it, or even like getting to a point where brands are recognizing you to send you stuff to test out, because then that money can be going towards, you know, saving for my son's school or for like a trip that we want to take or something, you know. So money definitely is a factor, you know. That would definitely be special. It would mean something to me to be able to like really say that I'm doing something here with this channel and that like it's, you know, got a value to it, you know. So hopefully one day. I would say making it though, if I really think about it, it's like I kind of mentioned brand sending PR. Like, yeah, that would be awesome and all, but I think really making it, if I'm being completely honest, because I don't think I would ever be the kind of person to try to like start my own makeup line or anything like that. But if I could collab with a brand, you know, like if I ever got to a point where I was making an impact with my channel to where like I had subscribers that, you know, was a significant enough amount to make a difference to a brand to where they would want my name attached to something, that would be really awesome. Because it'd be really cool to collaborate like on a palette. I don't think I would ever want to have my own makeup brand, but it would be really fun to create a palette with a brand. God, these are beautiful. Okay, number 5 is, what is your end goal with YouTube? I guess that's probably where the money portion goes a little bit more into play. My end goal would just be to be able to really set this money aside and do something with it, you know, for my family, for, you know, something like a fun trip. Saving up to like pay off bills obviously is an important thing. I think that would be my end goal. I don't think I would ever foresee myself like quitting my job to do this, but being able to just be a lot more comfortable in our living, that would definitely be a good end goal in my mind. Okay, number 6 is, what is the hardest part about YouTube? For me, I would say that's probably just time and energy. Like I work, you know, weekdays, you know, usually I'm out of the house by 7 o'clock to drop my son off at school. I usually get home like around 5:45, 6 o'clock maybe. So sometimes I'm just tired, or like I just don't have the energy to like want to film and edit, and I'm horrible about pre-filming. That's like my worst thing. I'm really bad about pre-filming, and so usually I am forced to film on a Monday night, edit it on a Tuesday night to have it up on a Wednesday night. So that is something I am going to try to, you know, work on. It's one of my personal goals for 2019, is I would really like to get better at pre-filming so that I can just enjoy more time with my family. I do hate when I come home from work and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go close myself off in the bedroom upstairs and, you know, just film something, ignore you guys. It's just, you know, I feel really bad doing that. You know, and I try to like make sure that when dinner's, like my husband is great about cooking dinner and I'll come down and eat like with half a face done. But, you know, I don't want to necessarily always be doing that. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get better at pre-filming. That's probably what's hardest for me. I know it sounds like it shouldn't be that hard, but it is. All right, I'm gonna cut the crease. So I'm gonna zip through that because I can't talk and cut the crease, but I know I've been doing this a lot lately, but I just love the way it makes a look stand out. So I'm gonna cut the crease real quick. So number 8 is, what is the funniest comment you've ever gotten? And honestly, I really haven't received many like funny comments. I mean, you know, I've had like people that are really nice, or, you know, I don't know, nobody's ever like been hilarious with anything that I can remember. I think the funniest thing to me would be, I got a lot of comments on my Beetlejuice video because I had that kind of short, dark blackish brown wig and I had the bangs all piecey. I was getting a lot of comments on that video that I looked like either Joan Jett or like Janet from Three's Company, which I don't think anybody was trying to be insulting. I think they were just saying like, oh my gosh, you look like, you know, Joan Jett or whatever. So I found that funny. I wasn't insulted or whatever. I just thought it was funny. So not necessarily funny like a joke per se, but it's the funniest thing I've seen. That is so pretty. I think I am gonna take a little bit of that really pretty dark blue and just pack it on this outside. I feel like this is like my go-to way to use an eyeshadow palette. It's like the easiest way to get a bunch of colors in, but I still love the way it looks. And also when I put my glasses on, I like the way that it looks with my glasses. So it works for me. So let's move along. I'm gonna go to the lower lash line. Number 9 is, what is the meanest comment you've ever received? So I will say that I've been pretty lucky so far. I mean, I feel like the bigger you get, the meaner the comments that you get end up being. That's just the nature of the internet. I've been pretty lucky that I haven't had a lot of mean comments. Usually, so like if you look at my channel, if you look at the videos on my channel, the videos that tend to get the most views for me are usually my Hot Topic videos, and that's just because the fandom is real. I mean, that's why I love doing the Hot Topic videos. It's kind of what drew me into them in the first place, was because they have these fun palettes for all sorts of different types of fandoms. No, they are not the best quality in the world, but they're super fun. And if you're a fan of that particular fandom, it's really fun to have a piece of it. So I do notice that obviously when I post those videos, that's usually where I get my like thousands of views, which is way more than what I normally get with just posting something like this. So that's also where I get more of my dislikes. There's always, you know, there's always a lot more dislikes on those videos, which, I mean, if I'm being really honest, the thing I hate about the whole dislike system is like, I wish you would at least leave some kind of constructive comment. You know, what is it that you didn't like about the video? You know, because I do have people every now and then that will leave something that's actually constructive. You know, like when I first started out, like I was kind of still learning the best way to do things. And so I think there was one time where I guess I was probably moving the palette around a lot when I was holding it up and talking, and somebody made a comment, and I think they were being a little bit snarky with their comment, but I paid attention to it and made sure that in the future I held the palette steady, because I do tend to talk with my hands. You know, so it's like little things like that. I don't mind a constructive comment, and I can use them. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, so I'm all for you telling me like, hey, you were fuzzy the whole time, you're too close, I can't see what you're doing, or, you know, quit flailing your hands in front of the camera, it's making me nauseous. Not that I do that on purpose. But yeah, I mean, I just get these like blatant dislikes, and I'm just like, okay, well, don't know what I could have done differently for you. I also hate the ones where people are just like, oh my God, you are so naive to think that that palette was going to be any good. You know, just like, I do watch Jeffree Star's videos, and he reviewed the Nickelodeon palette, which I also reviewed. And by the time I got to the Nickelodeon palette, I had reviewed a good number of Hot Topic palettes, and some of them had sucked and some of them were actually pretty decent. And that one actually was pretty decent. It definitely had some crappy shadows that did not work well, but it did have shadows that worked nicely, and I was able to get a really pretty look out of it, and I've actually used it since. Liner time. And I'm not the only one that has used that palette and been able to make it work for them. But when somebody as big as Jeffree Star goes and reviews that palette and expects it to be as good as something you would pick up at Sephora, like, that's just dumb. Why would you think that a palette from Hot Topic was going to be anywhere remotely close to the quality of anything you would get from Sephora? So after his video came out, I did start kind of making a bit more of a disclaimer on my Hot Topic videos, just that they are more like a drugstore quality palette. Like, I'm talking Wet n Wild quality palette. They are not by any means a amazingly, you know, pigmented palette, and they're never going to be. But you buy them for the nostalgia, you buy them for the fandom, and then if you can make them work for you, and that's what I do with my videos. I think it's fun to do what I can to try to make that palette work for you, so that if you are that person that is, you know, a huge Beetlejuice fan and you really want that palette and you want to actually be able to use it, I'm gonna try to show you how to make it work for you. And I love doing that. I think it's fun. So I don't know, those kind of things, those comments get me so irritated. I'm like, no, I'm not naive, and I'm not stupid enough to think that this palette is going to perform like a Natasha Denona palette. I'm going into it thinking, Wet n Wild quality palette, let me work with these shadows the best way that I can and show you that you can potentially still get a pretty look. I mean, I don't think that's naive at all. I think that's showing you that, you know, if you really like something, maybe you could still buy it. Okay, so wings done, and I'm done with that tangent. That's really, I mean, and even though, like, I don't feel like those comments were necessarily being mean, but they always bother me, because I'm just like, I'm not stupid. I'm just showing people that might love something how they could make it work. That's not naive, that's not stupid, and I don't care if Jeffree Star approved it. So I'm using this Laura Mercier Antique Jade liner now. All right, so let's see how quickly I can make this eye match. So number 10, the number 10 question is, what other subject matter could you create a YouTube channel on? So I can guarantee that I would never actually do this, but if I was going to have a channel that wasn't a makeup channel, it would be a music channel because I love to sing. That's like my favorite thing in the world, probably. Above anything is music and singing, and I always wanted to be a singer, a professional singer when I grew up, when I was a child. But yeah, I don't think I would ever actually do that because I'm such a perfectionist and I just get like really shy when it comes to that kind of stuff, even though it would be just, you know, in my bedroom by myself and nobody would be hearing me. I don't know, I just don't think I could put myself fully out there for the world. Especially seeing how mean people can be to just other people. Like, people are just horrible in comments of videos. I mean, sometimes I make the mistake of looking at the comments on other people's videos and I'm just like, God, why are people so mean to you? It's just horrible. But yeah, I would want to have a music channel. Like, my best friend, Jason, he would have been the perfect person I could have seen making this happen with. He moved away to Florida. But if he had still been living here, I probably would have convinced him to do it with me by now. Because I think like he and I would have had a lot of fun together. What I would love to do would be like the acoustic like covers of songs. There's a couple people that I watch that I just really love, and it's just, I always like, you know, hearing somebody put a different kind of twist on a song, or, you know, do an acoustic cover of something that's usually like a bit of like a harder song or a poppy song. I always love like slowed down acoustic jams. But yeah, if he still lived here, I probably would have convinced him to start some kind of YouTube thing with me. Number 11 is, why did you start your YouTube channel? So for me, I started it because my sister convinced me to. I actually was trying to convince her to start her own channel. I just always thought she definitely had the personality for it because she's just very outgoing. And I thought hers would be fun. If she didn't do makeup, I was thinking like more of a fashion type of channel because she's really into just clothes and putting outfits together and things like that. But yeah, she didn't want to, but she convinced me to. So I decided, I kind of like toyed around with the idea and thought about doing it. And then I ordered the Storybook Cosmetics palette because I wanted it and it was a pre-order. And then when it came in the mail, I was like, you know what? This would be the perfect time to start a channel because I have something in my hands that a lot of people probably don't have. So it's the perfect time to just take advantage and get a video out there and maybe be seen, you know, more than I would normally be seen if I just put a video out there. So I sat down and filmed probably 3 or 4 different times before I was happy enough with it to like edit it and put it up. But yep, that's how it all started. Okay, number 12 is, what video are you most embarrassed by? And I'm not necessarily embarrassed by like a specific video. I would say that I'm probably just embarrassed by my earlier couple of videos in general. I try not to go back and watch them, but they are still up and I've occasionally gone and looked at them and I kind of just have to laugh at myself. Like the way that I was when I first started, I was just so shy about like showing my personality. I was like trying to be, I don't know who I was trying to be, but I definitely wasn't just being myself. And I think I was just like really afraid that if I was goofy or if I messed up on camera, like people would judge me for it. And I don't know. I'm not sure when exactly I finally just dropped all that and started completely just being myself, but that was definitely the best thing that I did, was when I stopped trying to just be so proper and perfect and not screw up or not be goofy. Because I think what happened was I just realized that the people that I liked to watch were a little quirky, were a little goofy. You know, they weren't perfect, and that's what I like in my YouTubers. So yeah, I figured, why should I treat myself any differently? Because somebody out there is going to like my personality, and if they don't, why would I want them watching my videos? All right, we're almost done. So number 13 is, what video are you most proud of? And I would say my Beetlejuice video. And that is just completely a case of like right place, right time. So like I mentioned earlier, you know, obviously I get a ton of my views from the Hot Topic palettes because of the fandoms. So that kind of became my thing, was I loved finding them. As soon as they came out, like I wanted to find them. And I knew Hot Topic was going to be releasing a Beetlejuice palette, but they don't ever tell you when this stuff's coming out. So it just happened to be in a store one day and I found it before it hit the website, before it hit most of the stores. Got it, had my video up later that night, and it was literally the only video on that palette for 2 weeks. So I had a crap ton of views. To this day, it is still my highest view video. I think I have like 18,000 views on it. And to me, like with just 4,000 or 4,700 subscribers, that's a lot, you know, so that was really awesome. And I actually was really proud of the video too, because like the quality was actually pretty good for once. So I loved the look that I did. Like my outfit was really cute. Like I was just really happy with everything about that video. And I didn't get a lot of mean, like, you know, snarky comments on it, so. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the eyes off camera. We'll come back with the last question and I'll put some lips on. Okay, so I'm gonna finish off with this Laura Mercier. This is Amber Rose Lip Gloss. All right, and we are done with the look. Let's do the last question, which is, what is your first YouTube memory? I would probably say my first video that actually got some really awesome views, which coincidentally enough was a Hot Topic video. I bought the Hot Topic Beauty and the Beast palette that was like a book. And that was the first one where I remembered I kept like looking at the little screen and it was like the number just kept climbing, and I mean, it still never went insane, but for my ratio of like subscribers to views, it had a lot. It was the first one that went over 100 views for me, and then it just kept climbing from there. So that was my first view because it was the first time I ever had that like giddy kind of feeling that you get when one of your videos that you put a lot of work into does really well. You're just like, ee! And that was what cemented the love for Hot Topic palettes. And that's why ever since then, I pretty much review every single one on my channel, because they always give me that like ee! Feeling whenever my videos do really well, and those usually do really well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about me and this channel. I know this was definitely a long video. Hope you also like the look I came up with. I love this palette, so I will definitely be purchasing more from Juvia's place in the future. I know now why everybody raves about it, but this is just gorgeous. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. If there's other like tag videos that you want to see me do, let me know in the comments below, because I do want to do more of these tag videos. I do think I'm going to do the colorful makeup tag next. That one looks like it'll be a lot of fun, so maybe in another week or two I'll do something like that video. So, and let me know if you like this style where it's like a get ready with me and a tag, or if you'd rather me just answer the questions, which would probably be faster. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or evening whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.